If you are doing this, stop. You'll just knock yourself out. So, are you waiting for gas stations to become charging stations? You'll have to wait some more. You see, a new study has been done into the profitability of EV chargers for gas station owners, and the results are shocking. Hold on to something as we share the study with you and narrate how this is a shocking blow to all EVs. EV chargers are not profitable. So, according to the government, the plan is to get the whole world off gas-powered vehicles and on electric vehicles by 2030. Doing this would clean our planet and reduce the destruction of our planet. Great plan, right? On paper, yes. In real life, there are various obstacles. By 2030, the US will need 28 million EV chargers if this EV dream is ever to become reality. And here is the problem. The only people able to accelerate the construction of EV chargers are gas station owners, as they already have the infrastructure, but many have refused to build EV charging stations. So why? For one, gas stations are not as profitable as you might believe. The major source of income in gas stations is the stores you see behind them. This means that the low profit margin for gas station owners push them to take calculated risks or find themselves out of business for good. To build an EV charging infrastructure, owners need heavy investment with a complete rearrangement of their stations. This is because EV owners take longer when topping off their cars and would need refreshments, even more than internal combustion engine car owners. Because the stores within gas stations are the moneymaker in the business, EV owners staying longer might sound like a good deal for owners. That is, until you consider the fact that throughout the habits of an EV user, they only use these gas station chargers for 10%, as they would likely have a charger with the electricity to charge their EVs at home. A study further went ahead to calculate that every EV owner will only use gas station chargers 10 out of 100 times, compared to a gas car that fills up at gas stations 100%. This means the only way for gas stations to make money on these chargers will be to increase the price. Here another complication sets in. Who would choose to charge at exorbitant rates when they can charge at home? The study ends by concluding that in the EV world, gas station owners would go bankrupt because they would have competition in every household. Now, do you see why there is the slow development of EV chargers? So since this is the case, what next for EVs? If charging stations cannot be easily built and profits cannot be made from these stations, it could mean that the use of EVs might not be as explosive as many may have thought. We already know that EVs are money grinders for manufacturers. Manufacturers sink millions into EV production with a potential for heavy loss. Despite this fact, many manufacturers still push on. The question is this: now that manufacturers are still producing EVs at a loss, are they willing to build the charging stations at a loss also? There are 3 different types of chargers, and we will be classifying them into 3 levels. What you have to keep in mind is that level 1 is a slow charger. These are the first generation of basic chargers. Level 2 are fast chargers. Most EVs now come with the capability to charge via one of these chargers. Level 3 chargers are rapid chargers, or as Tesla would call it, superchargers. Level 1. There are the general chargers. They are mostly not found in charging stations. This is because they are most commonly found in households where the EV owner can simply plug and recharge their EV from the comfort and convenience of their home. These chargers were made to fit into the homeowner routine. This Level 1 EV charger for the home takes a comparatively longer time to completely charge the EV. Level 2. The Level 2 fast chargers are the mass-produced public chargers that are mostly found in public parking spaces, such as supermarkets, public parks, shops, and leisure centers. It has become a norm for every EV and plug-in hybrid electric vehicle (PHEV) manufacturer to make their cars in such a way that they can be charged using a Level 2 charger. Level 3. This Level 3 charger for EVs charges super fast. The reason for this is that it is supported by direct current. The Level 3 DC charger converts the alternate current coming into the EV to direct current at the charging station while the car is plugged in. It is fast enough to charge an EV from 0% to 80% within a mind-boggling 20 minutes. This means your EV can be fully charged in less than an hour. So with all of these, how come we still have EV charging problems? Do you know why horses became a mass transportation option? Well, there are many reasons, but a major reason is that feeding horses is easy. Now back to EVs. You see, if EV chargers are common and guaranteed to work, many more would use EVs. These chargers fail users so often that EV owners have been scared with charging anxiety. Here are 4 reasons these chargers are problematic. Station connectivity. Ever had that moment when your phone just won't connect to the internet, leaving you stranded in the digital desert? Well, guess what? Electric vehicle charging stations sometimes suffer the same fate. Did you know more than half of all charging hiccups happen because the station can't connect to the network for authentication? And guess what's to blame? Cell service troubles. Fortunately, there are 2 nifty fixes for this connectivity issue. First off, Electrify America has got it sorted. Their stations play nice and offer free charging when they can't connect their network to validate your payment. How sweet is that? Pretty sweet, but at what cost? Does this not mean more losses on an already sinking ship? The second solution involves getting down and dirty with some hardwired communication cables. Yes, you guessed it. These cables are a bit pricier to set up, but they're like the superhero of connectivity. Most stations haven't taken this plunge yet, and might never take the plunge, and the reason is cash. Internal station faults or errors. Do you know charging stations can throw tantrums? Sometimes these chargers get stuck in some digital limbo. It's like they're frozen mid-reboot. It's like the charging station's brain is having a bad day. This could be because the software is acting up, or maybe even some hardware is not just having a good day. Now here's the kicker. Every station, from every maker, might have its unique set of issues. So it's not just one problem to solve, it's like a whole bunch of them playing hide and seek in the digital playground of EV chargers. Maintenance. Every manpower an EV manufacturer has is being pushed into the actual production of the vehicles themselves, the little they can spare in spreading tiny trying to maintain chargers all over. It has been established that these chargers are everything but reliable, so maintaining them requires more manpower, which sincerely, EV manufacturers cannot spare. Money. This should not hit you as a surprise. The first 3 points we have mentioned could all be solved if more money could be spent. We do not blame anyone for not wanting to invest more money into EVs. At this point, the EV revolution is like an eternal well that keeps sucking in money by the billions. If you have seen our last video about the crash of EV companies in China, you would understand that the crash of EVs is a general occurrence. The problem is not the unwillingness of people to invest more in EVs. The problem is that we have rushed into EVs and the world is not just ready. So despite all of these problems, is there hope? The electric vehicle charging scene is like a baby taking its first steps. It's just getting started. Like every baby, the parents have big plans for it. So here's the scoop. By the time we hit 2030, the government plan is that the EV charging market is going to be worth billions of euros. And guess what? That's good news for everyone involved, from the folks running charging points to the EV manufacturers and the EV consumers in total. Well, according to some scientists at Bain & Company, the whole automotive world is shaking with the rise of EVs. With countries setting ambitious goals to cut CO2 emissions, one thing holding some folks back from jumping on the EV train is the range and charging anxiety. It's the fear of getting stranded because there aren't enough charging spots around. But guess what? Turns out, it's not as scary as it sounds because there is a smart way around it. This is because as more and more people hop into electric rides, more and more money is being circulated in the EV landscape, and many charging spots will be built everywhere. And that's where the opportunity knocks for lots of folks. From your local store owners to big-shot real estate developers, these people can easily jump into the business of EV chargers, install it on their properties, and gain some cash on the side. This is smart because instead of converting gas stations into EV charging stations, regular people would be employed to run EV chargers. To put it simply, they hope to make and distribute EV chargers like vending machines. Even though this is a very simple solution, it might just work. So what do you think? Will the EV charging problem be solved? Thank you for watching our video. Subscribe to our channel to stay informed on everything EV.